Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today we have got a pond problem we've got to take care of. Look at this. We have got a algae muck layer on our pond that is just covering the top of it. So we are going to fix that today. We're going to bring you along for the ride. This pond is nasty. We had a real bad red algae bloom a month or so ago. I'll show a little clip of that. It was really nasty, covering the entire pond here, and it was a bright red, and it was really pretty, but you know it can kill the fish. It can deplete the water of oxygen, or at least eliminate a lot of that transfer, and then the fish, can suffocate. So you can see, look how nasty all this, and this isn't, this isn't moss, this isn't a duckweed or anything. This is just a muck that's breaking down within this pond, and it's mixed with the algae too. So both of those can kill our fish. So what we're going to do today is a several part method to clean up, do maintenance on this pond. We're going to start off with an algae fix. It's an algicide. It's going to be safe for the fish, safe for the plants that are inside our pond here, and we're going to calculate how much we need to put in there. And we're also going to do this Clear. And it is a biological muck remover. All the leaves and everything, they float, they sink to the bottom of our pond, and they start to break down. And that muck can really kill out a pond. It can cause it to turn over, if you will. And again, the fish just can't survive. So we're going to take care of the muck, take care of the algae. We've also got to take care of what's on the top here, clear this up so we can start getting oxygen down in this pond. There's a couple other methods I'm going to show you for that as well. So let's get to fixing this pond. You can see this red algae has turned more to a yellow orange, and if I break it apart, you can see it covers the surface of the water. And covering the surface of the water like that will prevent, the sun from doing its thing in the water, and of course the fish, they can't respirate without an oxygen level getting into their water, infused into the water. So we need to eliminate the algae and the muck in this pond. The algae is on the top, and actually it can be down in the water itself, and then the muck is what's down at the bottom. All that stuff, all that plant material. You see that plant material that's on the end of that stick? All those leaves and all that muck that's down there at the bottom is breaking down, causing this water to not be clear. So we're going to fix that with adding some bacteria enzymes. They're going to break all this down and give us a nice clean pond. We're going to start off with our Bacti-Killer to kill the muck in our pond, and to calculate how much you need to use, you start off with your surface acre. You got to calculate your surface acre, and again, you'll do that per the instructions of whatever brand of Bacti-Killer you buy. And for ours, I've determined that to be about a ½ gallon, our initial dose, and I'm going to mix that with a 5-gallon bucket of water. So a ½ gallon to a 5-gallon bucket of water. You're supposed to do a 9-to-1 ratio, but it's going to work good for me. And then I'm going to walk that around the edge of the pond. I'm going to pour that around the edge of the pond, that 9-to-1 mixture, and that's your initial dose. Now you want to come back between 30 and 60 days to do another one based on how well the clarity of your water is. You may want to go with that initial dose again, or you want to start a maintenance dose, which is really 1/2 of what your initial dose was. So let's go ahead and get our muck reducer poured in. We'll go ahead and fill my bucket up. Then I'm going to get my Bacti-Cide. Again, I'm going to use half of the gallon. Get this open. And it's got the mark on the side, so put ½ a gallon in here. There we go. Need one more quart. That balances it out. There we go. ½ a gallon. About 4 gallons of water there. So now I'm just going to walk around the pond, evenly distributing it around the pond's edge. It'll filter down to all that muck. We'll get this stuff cleared up. Let's go. kind of hot, it's kind of heavy. It's about 100 degrees out today, 115 degree heat index. We got it all installed. Now it's time to move on to our algaecide. To control the algae in our pond, again, we're going to be using AlgaeFix by API. It is an algaecide. We've calculated our pond to 20,000 gallons. There's a bunch of different ways to calculate the gallons of your pond. Go online, see which one best fits the size and dimensions of your pond. Now, for 20,000 gallons of our AlgaeFix, we need to use 8 ounces 8 times. So 64 ounces. That's going to be good to check in about 2 or 3 days. Come back and see if the algae is controlled. If not, we need to do 64 ounces again and do that until the algae is gone. And we're going to do that now the same method as we did with our muck controller. We're going to mix this in with our 5-gallon bucket of water, walk around the edge of the pond, get an even distribution. That way it's not all concentrated on one end. Let's make it happen. We got our bucket of water. We're going to again mix our 8 ounces 8 times into our bucket. Ooh. One of the most important aspects after you've added your algaecide and your chemicals to your pond is to aerate, especially in the warm summer months. As the algae dies, it will take the oxygen out of the water. All your fish will die. So make sure you vigorously aerate your pond or pool. So we've got a hose set up here with a sprayer to this tree. We're going to turn it on, aerate the pond 24/7 until the algae is all gone and the chemical has done its job. Okay, so keep the water going day and night. Keep this pond aerated. Let's get it turned on and see what it does to the surface of the water. It doesn't matter if you have a hose, a pump, or a circulation system. Keep it going 24/7 until all this algae is cleared. With this hose, it's going to slowly push the surface area, that all that algae it's on top, open it up, push it to the edges. It's going to collect on the edges. And I've got an overflow, a spillway on that side, and a lot of that's going to start to overflow that way. And as it dies, again, it's all going to come to the top. And it should rain in the next day or so too to help evacuate all of that dead algae that comes to the top. The aeration keeps the oxygen in the water so the fish that are in here don't die. They were having a hard time with all this stuff on top as it was. We don't need the algaecide taking the rest of the oxygen out by killing the algae. So fish will live, keeping them aerated. I'm going to put this on a time lapse. You can watch what happens to the surface algae on this pond over time. Less than 24 hours and you can see the surface of this pond is clear. The water is so much clearer. Of course, 2 to 3 days for the treatment for the one and about 30 days for the second treatment of the other one. And we will make sure we come back and do the maintenance on this water. Now, I'm going to take you closer here in just a second, show you how clear the water is compared to that yellowy orange muck we had on the surface before. And then we're going to get out and do a couple more things to make this pond even better. So now that the water is so much clearer, we can make this pond look better. Now you can see we've got the one lone mallard out there, and you see our kayak on the water as well. Well, we're going to put a couple more of our ducks out there. Our duck decoys, we got a couple more mallards, a male and a female, a drake and a hen, and we're going to put them floating out there as well. Another thing, just really for aesthetics, we're going to put a ZATK solar-powered fountain pump. And This is just a little bitty solar powered fountain. It's going to sprinkle up. It doesn't do much aeration for a pond this size, but if you've got a small koi pond or a little decorative pond, this will work wonders for you to keep a little beauty and aeration to your pond. And we'll open this up, show you what we got. This is off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description, but it's just a solar powered fountain, and it's going to float on the water. And it comes with some extra filters for the pump and some nozzles, because you can actually separate the pump from the solar pump and have it blowing up like in a bird feeder or something like that, which is really, really nice. But here you can see this is the solar powered pump. The water comes spraying out of there, solar cells on the top. Here's the pump, here's the suction. You see the little suction cups, you can put that on. You can pop this off like that, and you can have the solar separate from the pump, and the water shoots out there. Put these little extra nozzles on there. That would work great. So we're going to keep that on there. I'm going to suspend this. I'm going to tie a string to the bottom of it, put a brick, just like I have for our lone mallard out there and the 2 more we're going to put out there. I'll suspend this in the center of the pond. The sun will come on and create a fountain effect in the center of our pond. Again, not that much for a pond this size, but I think it'll be pretty nonetheless. So let's get out there and see how clear the water is and get these in the water. Man, how clear this water is compared to yesterday. Again, just 24 hours and we have got a much, much cleaner pond. That's pretty amazing. All right, so we're about right here. Then once I submerge the pump, it will start to, there you go. And then once that, once the battery gets fully charged, you're gonna have a much, much bigger spray there. So let me get out of the way. And I'm gonna get a camera out here in just a second and let you get a better view of that. But I've got it anchored down now. And it's just gonna provide a little visual entertainment. It is a hot summer day. We've got our ducks out on the water. We've got our fountain going. We've got our hose going. We've got our other mallard sitting over there. The water is clear, 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 clear. Pretty darn good after just 24 hours, but you really don't know if the water's clear unless you get in it, really, right? And I think we should get in the water. How about doing that? Guys, this water is pretty clear. I like it. Woo! All right, let's get over here. Let's see what we got. That's pretty deep. What? The bottom came off my shoe. Look, the bottom came off of my shoe. I got water shoes on and the bottom came off. That's pretty crazy. But the water is pretty clear. Let's get over here and see if we can see. There's still lots of muck at the bottom of the water, and that's what we put the chemical in there to eat up all that muck. It's natural, it'll take care of it, but let's pull up some of that muck and see what it looks like. All right, look at that. But you can see it is already starting to break down. See the leaves right there? But muck, get that broken down, and this water will be super, super clear. Let's go ahead and go out and see if we can see how clear the water is compared to what it was. Let's see here. Look across the water there and just go down. You saw my thumb under there, didn't you? Thumbs up, buddy. Hope you enjoyed our little maintenance day here on the Ridge Pond. We got our Bacti-Clean put in here to reduce all the muck. We got the algaecide in, and doesn't the pond already look cleaner? We'll give it a couple more days, get some more treatments in here, maintain this pond, make it look clear. We have got our decoys. We got our drake and mallard, drake, and hen decoys put out there. Give the pond a little more decorative touch. And guys, we got our little water fountain. Our little water fountain out there. It doesn't do much for a big pond like this, but if you got a little koi pond or a little decorative pond around your garden or house, check that out. I got a link in the description. Get that off Amazon. So guys, we have got our hose going, and the hose is going to keep all this surface clear as the chemicals do their thing. I've got to go take a shower, so come on out, subscribe to Ridge Life if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out. And as always, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go Ridge Life.